Hello, welcome to Irish Football Fan TV. This is the Starting 11 show for Armenia versus the Republic of Ireland in our first UEFA Nations League game of this campaign. Stephen Kenny has went on to speak about how this 4 games in 10 days is going to be like a tournament. So we need to start this tournament very well with the first game obviously kicking off tomorrow at 2 p.m. So I think, look, this is a game where we're going to need experience, but we're also going to need to dominate the ball and try and, I suppose, dominate the game from an attacking point of view. And I think if we go out with a 3-5-2, I think we're setting ourselves up to be attacked against. Whereas I think if we go with a 4-3-3, we're in a better position to dominate. So I'm going to go with a 4-3-3. I'm going to go with Gavin Bazunu in goal, and I think Mark Travers and Keller can feel hard done by. But look, 3 outstanding young goalkeepers, and I'd be happy if any of them played. So I don't really care who starts in goal, but I think Bazunu, when he's played for Ireland, he's looked the most comfortable at the level, and he also, he hasn't put a foot wrong when he's been Stevens number 1. He was ill for the last campaign, around the games in March, so he didn't play those games. And Mark Travers has come off an unbelievable season with Bournemouth, getting promoted, getting the Golden Glove, most clean sheets in the Championship, and an outstanding season for him. So, and Keller has obviously won the Carabao Cup. He's playing at the best or second best team in the Premier League, arguably the second best team in Europe, whatever way you want to look at it. But he's the second goalkeeper there with them, so it's a tough one. But I'm going with Bazunu. He's just got Portsmouth Player of the Year as well. Let's not forget that. So I think credit where credit's due. Gavin's done unbelievably well every time he's put on the Irish jersey. So I'm going to go with him as my number 1. Then I'm going to stick with a traditional back four, as I mentioned. So I'm going to this is just going to be experience, but a good experience, a good strong team there. Seamus Coleman at right fullback, right fullback, not right wing back. So Seamus, our captain, I want him in the team. I think he's going to lead by example. He's played largely as a right back for Everton this season, and I think he'd come in and do the job absolutely. He's been our longest serving player at Premier League level for a long time now, and I just think he brings a lot to the team from a leadership standpoint, and obviously his abilities. He's still one of the best players in the squad despite his age. Obviously he's just getting on a little bit now from an international point of view, but still Seamus Coleman, one of our best players, and has to be in that team for me. Then I'm going to go left back. I'm going to go Enda Stevens again, natural left back, quality player. We've missed him, I think, at times, even though we've been doing well, but I just think he's the most natural fitted player to play that left back role, and I think he's had an outstanding number of seasons. Obviously he's been derailed a little bit recently with injuries, but it's great to see him back in the squad. It's great to have him back in the squad as well. And there's competition for places there as well. I think Ryan Manning and James Mclean probably feels a little bit hard done by considering the season he's had. But look, it opens windows for Mclean to come in other games over this 10-day period. So I'll go with them two as our fullbacks. Then I'm going to just stick with a solid centre-half pairing who know each other inside out in John Egan and Shane Duffy. And again, when you have Enda Stevens and you have Seamus Coleman, they all naturally know each other. Obviously Egan and Stevens played together at Sheffield United. Duffy and Coleman have played together at Everton, and obviously Duffy and Egan have played together at centre back for and alongside Seamus as well. So look, it makes sense. They all have an understanding. They all play well together, and I know the back four there is a little bit, you'd probably say a little bit 30 and above, but I think you're looking at it, Nathan Collins probably hard done by, but again, I want to go with experience just for this game. Nathan, I'm sure, can come in. Darrow Shea can come in as well at some point. Darragh Lenihan as well. So we've got good options there in defence. Then midfield, I'm going with a 3-sitter, not suspended anymore. Josh Cullen, I'm putting him in there. I was fearing all week when I was thinking about doing this video. I was like, who am I going to play as the sitter? And then last night the news came out. Dan McDonald tweeted it. There was an error by either UEFA or FIFA or someone there, and their administrative error was the term used. Anyway, Josh isn't suspended from the World Cup qualifying campaign. It didn't carry over to this Nations League campaign, so he's free to play, which is outstanding news and welcomed news. He's obviously the player that starts the tempo and just gets us playing. He receives the ball from the defence on the turn, and he can beat the press just alone, just the way he plays. He's just quality. So I'm absolutely delighted that he's back in there. Then in front of him, I would go with Jeff Hendrick, who I think has been outstanding for Ireland under Stephen Kenny, especially in recent games. You look at the games against Portugal and Serbia and these other games that he's played. I think he's found his level again with Ireland under Stephen Kenny. I think Stephen Kenny's been brilliant for him, actually. And seems to be getting the best out of him. You remember the Qatar game as well, he was outstanding in as well. So these are just games off the top of my head, but I think Jeff to come in there and do a job for us. He's athletic. He'll be box to box. He'll be what we need. He'll be energy in there. And then alongside him, I think you have to go with Jason Knight. He's a goal threat, but he also brings that energy, and he also brings that snideness in midfield that he'll take a yellow for the team and he'll hack a fella down if he has to, if they're on the counter attack, which I don't think enough of our players do. I think some of our players are too nice in that aspect, but I don't think he is. I think he's a clever player, and I think he's always a threat, and he's came on in games and changed games in the past, and I think he's a match winner for me. So yeah, and then my front three is really exciting, I think, anyway, and it screams pace and goals and power. And on the left hand side, I would have Callum Robinson cutting in on his right foot, but again, he's both footed, so he can go down the right line and stand crosses into the box like he did against Belgium. So I'd be happy enough to have him in there doing that, and then hopefully getting on the ball and getting around it, interchanging with the two other players up front with him. Right side, Chiadozie Ogbene, he's come in. I spoke with Jason Knight taking his chance coming in, and being a game changer. But Chiadozie's come in, he scored goals, he's a threat in behind, he scares opposition with his pace, and he's kicked on since his first couple of goals for Ireland. He's really kicked on at club level and international level. I think a lot of people would say he's probably one of the first names in the team sheet if you were picking the team. So I think Chiadozie has to start this one alongside Robbo, and I think down the middle for the season he's had and the way people are talking about Michael Obafemi, I just think he has everything that we would want in a striker: pace, power, movement, all different types of finishes, and he's finished the season so well. We've wanted to see him come good for so long, and it seems as though now is the point where he's coming to he's avoiding injuries. Touch wood, that stays the case. But I think if we're looking to maybe get the best out of him, it's maybe play him in this game, get him a couple of goals, maybe rest him for the next one, bring him in for the third game, and then or you could even bring him on as a sub in the second game. But I don't think he should be starting two games so quickly, just with his injury record previously. I mean, we've got enough strength and depth there. I think Troy Parrott is going to be huge over these 10 days as well. I think he'd probably be unlucky not to start this game as well, but if he did start, I wouldn't be against it. But I just think that Obafemi is our most informed centre forward, and I think that's where he needs to play. But I think if you have those two players around him, I'm excited to see what they could do. So yeah, well, let me know your thoughts anyway on the team I've picked, and let us know who you would go with. Is there anyone you change? Would you change the formation? Would you have them in there? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Really looking forward to this one. Are you going over to the game? Are you watching at home? Let us know all those details in the comments. If you haven't checked out our other videos, our opposition preview is really good to kind of get a look at Armenia, to get a look at Armenia and how they're going to set up and stuff, and who we should be looking out for, as well as our own match preview as well, and all the press conferences leading up. We actually have a playlist, so you can check that out, and all the UEFA Nations League stuff is all in there. So check it out. Don't forget to like the video, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll speak to you all soon. Come on, you boys in green.